So, hi everybody and welcome back. This is a C++ tutorial series for absolute beginners. This is video 43, and in this video we are talking one more time about this bool type, and we create a variable with a bool. Let's create it. Bool. This is true, and we assign a value to it, in this case true, and again a bool variable. This is false, and we assign a value to it which is false. So we already talked about this bool variable, and we know it can have two values, true or false. And but what I want to add here is that in C++, this true and false can represent it also with numbers. And they use this sometimes, and that's why it's very important to know. The true is represented, for example, with the number 1. I write it here back in a comment. And the false state is represented here with a number 0. So why is this important to know? So because they use this number sometimes in if statements. For like I said, if it has all time this condition. For example, if I write here if, and then I write here 1, which can be represented as true, and I print here something out. Let's say it is here out. A 1 is true. That's enough. Else, and then let's do one more, an else if, so it's clear, is 0. And let's print here something also out, and copy this fast, copy, paste, and we write here 0 is false. I think I should just write that here, 0 is false. All right, and when we test this program, what we have here, you can see this is running also, because, like I said, in C++, this true is converted to 1 and false is converted to 0. But very important, this true works also with other numbers, not only with 1, but in general it is set to be 1. For example, I can write here this number 2, and this one will be converted to true, which is 1. Let's start this, let's test this, and this is true. So what we have to think about is that in C++, all numbers which is not 0 and used in a bool condition will be treated as true, and all numbers the only number which is 0 will be considered as false. That is one thing what I wanted to talk, and the second thing what I wanted to talk in this video is about hard-coded values. What are hard-coded values? What is this term hard-coded values? Hard-coded values is just something like that what I did here. I just write in values but not variables, and these values are called then hard-coded because they are not really changeable, and only the programmer can change it. What I mean with that is that if you want to change this value, which I wrote it here, the programmer must open up the program, must find exactly this point, and then he can change this value. On the other side, if you would use, for example, here a variable, this is true, this value, this is true, can be changed by a programmer. I mean, this can be changed by the program later on during the code, and that's why it's not called a hard-coded value, which means you can reuse it and the programmer can and then the program can change it, and it's sometimes easier and most time easier. That's why we should use all time here variables instead hard coding program, so that we have not find all time exactly this place to change something. Because if you have here, for example, a 1000-line program, and then you have just to find this variable name and can reuse it, change it in another place, and then this will work. So I think that's it what I wanted to tell here. Of course, we will test this kind of stuff more and train this, of course, and this hard-coded value. Sometimes, one more word to hard-coded value, sometimes there are cases you want hard-coded value. For example, when you know you will never change this value ever. For example, there are values which are all time the same and doesn't matter what you make. For example, the gravity of the Earth, it's all time a constant value and it's not really changing. So you can set it one time or use it all time. Yes, so it's things like that where you know these values will never be changed, so I don't need a variable. You can just write directly the number or directly a word, because hard-coded values works also with words, which means, of course, you can write here anything in as a string too, and so on. That will work the same as numbers. So with that said, I stop here. We will train all these things what we introduced till now here soon again in an exercise, but we have to go a little bit more with our keywords. And with that said, see you in the next. Bye.